Have you ever been part of a group where everything just works? The energy is high, ideas are flying, and you're all somehow better together. And then there are the other groups, the ones full of smart, talented people that just, fizzle. So what's the secret sauce? What makes one group click and the other one clank? Well, today we're going to find out by diving into Daniel Coyle's incredible book, The Culture Code.
Okay, so to get our heads around this, we're going to start with a surprisingly simple little competition. It's called the Marshmallow Challenge. And while it sounds kind of silly, the results reveal something absolutely profound about the hidden forces that make or break a team.
So here's the setup. You get a team of 4 people. You give them 20 sticks of spaghetti, a yard of tape, a yard of string, and one single marshmallow. The goal? Simple. Build the tallest freestanding structure you can. The only rule is the marshmallow has to be on top.
Now, who are our competitors? In one corner, you've got a team of savvy business school students. You know the type. They're planning, they're strategizing, delegating tasks. It's all very professional. And in the other corner, a group of kindergartners. It's pretty much pure chaos. No real plan, just a whirlwind of activity and shared discovery. So, place your bets. Who do you think wins this thing?
Well, if you bet on the business students, you'd be wrong. Because over and over again, in dozens of these trials, the kindergartners don't just win, they crush it. They build towers that are consistently more than twice as tall. It's a shocking result, right? It seems to defy all logic.
The reason this feels so backward is because we're programmed to look at individual skills. We think, hey, put a bunch of smart, experienced people in a room and you'll get a smart outcome. But that's the illusion. That's not what really matters. The secret ingredient isn't in the people, it's in the space between the people. It's all about the interaction.
So if it's not about being the smartest person in the room, what is it about? Well, the answer lies in the environment that kindergartners created, probably without even thinking about it. And this is the real key to their success. It's the first secret to building a great culture.
You see, the business students weren't actually building a tower together. They were playing a whole different subconscious game called status management. They were burning all this mental energy figuring out, who's the boss here? Is it okay if I criticize that idea? How do I make sure I look smart? All these little power struggles and calculations completely paralyzed them. But the kindergartners, they weren't wasting a single second on any of that. They just jumped right in. They were literally shoulder to shoulder, trying things, failing, trying again, together. Their success had nothing to do with their individual IQs. It was all about the quality of their collaboration.
And this smarter way of working, it has a name. It's called psychological safety. It's that deep down feeling that you belong, that you're connected, that it's okay to take a risk or make a mistake. And let's be clear, this isn't about being nice. It's about feeling secure. And this feeling, this is the absolute bedrock of any high-performing group.
And that's really the big idea here. Culture isn't some magical thing a group just has or doesn't have. It's something that is actively built, moment by moment, interaction by interaction. It's not who you are, it's what you do.
But how? How does this feeling of safety actually get built? Well, it turns out our brains are basically hardwired for this. They are incredibly powerful social supercomputers, and they are constantly scanning our environment for clues. So what exactly are they looking for?
The answer comes down to these little things called belonging cues. Think of them as the thousands of tiny signals we send and receive all day long. Things like eye contact, body language, how we listen, whether we interrupt. Our brains are obsessively tracking these cues to answer one ancient fundamental question: are we safe here? And the most powerful belonging cues all share 3 qualities. First, there's energy in the exchange. You show you're invested and paying attention. Second, there's individualization. You treat the person like they're unique and valuable. And third, there's future orientation. You signal that this relationship is going to continue. Put them all together and they send one crystal clear message: you belong here. And the impact of these cues is just massive. Check out this study. A researcher asked strangers on the street to borrow their phone. But for half of them, he first said 6 simple words: I'm so sorry about the rain. Just by acknowledging a tiny shared experience, the number of people who said yes jumped by a staggering 422%. That is a belonging cue in action.
So here's the bottom line. You can give all the big speeches you want about teamwork, but that's just noise. The real work, the thing that actually matters, is the constant stream of behaviors that communicate one powerful idea.
we are safe, and we are connected. That's the signal. Everything else is just static.
Okay, enough theory. Let's see how this plays out in the real world, under real pressure. We're going to look at a tech giant that changed the world and a legendary sports team that built a dynasty.
So first up, early Google. The company was struggling with a new project called AdWords, and it just wasn't working. So one Friday, co-founder Larry Page printed out the failing results, scrawled "These ads suck" in big letters, and pinned it to a bulletin board in the kitchen for everyone to see.
Now, in most companies, that would cause panic. But an engineer named Jeff Dean, who wasn't even on the AdWords team, saw the note. And he felt so connected to the mission, so safe in the environment, that he spent his entire weekend, unasked, fixing a problem that wasn't his. And his fix, well, it turned AdWords into the engine that powers Google to this day.
This story perfectly explains why Google absolutely crushed its well-funded competitor, Overture. It wasn't because Google's engineers were smarter. It's because Google's culture was safer. It was a place where people felt secure enough to jump on huge problems together, without needing a permission slip.
Okay, for our second example, let's talk about Greg Popovich, the coach of the NBA San Antonio Spurs. The guy is famous for his volcanic temper, and yet he builds the most cohesive, selfless teams in all of sports. How is that possible? Well, this quote from one of his coaches just nails it. Popovich combines brutal, no-nonsense honesty with an intense personal connection.
His method is a form of what's called magical feedback, and it's a simple three-part formula. First, you signal connection, you are part of this group. Second, you state the high standard, this is how we do things here. And third, you show your belief, I know you can meet that standard. It's a way of giving tough criticism that actually pulls people closer instead of pushing them away.
So what does this all mean for you and your team?
Well, the really good news is that building safety isn't some mystical personality trait. It's a set of skills. And like any skill, you can practice it. So let's talk about a few simple, powerful things you can start doing right away.
First up, show your own fallibility. Just asking a simple question like, hey guys, what am I missing here? Isn't a sign of weakness, it's an invitation to connect. Second, overdo the thank yous. Seriously, make sure people know you see them and you appreciate them. It affirms the relationship, not just the task. And finally, a simple one, pick up the trash. When a leader does the humble, unglamorous jobs, it sends a massive signal that says, we are all in this together.
Look, building a great culture doesn't happen in one big offsite meeting or with a fancy mission statement. It's built in the small moments. It's 1,000 tiny, consistent signals of safety and connection sent every single day. So I'll leave you with this one question to think about. What is one belonging cue you can send to your group today?
You can tell me in the comments. And if you like the video, subscribe Build and Scale Tribe to enhance your business skills.